Hey, it's been a long while, and welcome to AI with Fizzy. This is part 2 of Let's Talk AI. And in this chapter, we're going to talk about music, the music industry. And you're probably thinking, what's AI got to do with music? Well, over the past year, you probably would have heard so much AI cover music. We're talking Tupac, we're talking Drake, we even talk about 50 Cent's Many Men. That is literally gone viral now, to the extent where AI has developed a 1960s remix of 50 Cent's Many Men, which when I heard it for the first time, sent me chills because it was that good. So the question then becomes, what's happening? What's the problem? Why is AI coming and creeping into music? Should we have seen this happen? Well, a big player in the streaming world, a company called Spotify, have kind of come to save the day, almost. Basically, what their proposal is, teaming up with the big boys, the Sony, the Universals, and come up with a responsible AI, kind of ethical approach to music. So companies like UDO, who are very good, they could be, I wouldn't say infringed, but kind of follow the rules that the rest of the big players want them to play. And Spotify's kind of leading this. So the question begs here, is Spotify doing this to gain an advantage? To kind of boost more traditional music? Are they harming AI? Or are they going to play it fair? Are they going to allow the streaming world to adopt AI music where people can make money off AI music? Does that kind of destroy music or does it enhance music? Does it spoil creativity or does it enhance creativity? Well, let's take a few steps to go through this one because it's going to be a wild journey. Thank you, and as always, please like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't done so, it really helps the channel. And yeah, please leave your comments down below. For those music lovers, are you more traditional or do you like the new AI wave of music? Well, let's dig in a bit more. Okay, so over the last year, we've seen AI surge incredibly, especially music. We've seen it happen in a few industries, but I think over the last year, we can all agree music is starting to become more AI, not centric, but some AI has been heavily involved. To the extent where even I struggle to find out whether or not this is AI music or is this AI generated. You know, I've heard a few Drake samples, I've heard a few Kendrick Lamar samples, I've even heard 50 Cent, I've heard French Montana, I've heard gigs, I've heard them all. And it's quite hard as a consumer of music to kind of distinguish, am I listening to an artist or am I listening to an artificial version of the artist? Now, I'm always on the side of I'd rather hear the artist. I want the artist to have full creativity of their music. And I'm always on the side of ensuring that they have a fair say, especially when AI is coming to adopt their industry. But we can't stop the development of AI. We've now gone to a place where AI is growing exponentially in terms of its beginning phases to its end phases. And we're still in the very much the baby boom of AI, which is fun. But how fun is it, especially in the world of music? Well, we've got two superpowers in AI. Think of UDO and think of Suno. Now, who are they? Well, they are very AI-powered centric kind of musical tools that help with vocals, instrumentals, anything music related, they cover it. They're the two kind of giants in kind of progressing AI in music. So then what happens to traditional music where we talk about labels, talk about companies, agencies, what happens there? Well, companies like Universal, they've really come out with a plea to kind of stop this and call this copyright. They've sued the two companies enormous times and it's been a back and forth kind of tussle between the two AI companies versus traditional companies in terms of who and how music can be distributed out to the consumer. i.e. to people like us? Well, the issue here is, are we harming creativity? Are we stopping adoption and innovation? But most importantly, are we harming artists? Artists, spend a lot of hours working on their craft, working on their vocals, going to the studio, spending an enormous amount of studio. They're being backed by, elite companies. I've mentioned one like Universal, and all of that work and effort could be kind of subsidized in 5 minutes by using AI. We've seen it with Drake. But that's the problem here. Is AI getting too carried away? And is AI performing better than the artists themselves? This is where another huge superpower comes in. And this is where Spotify have kind of seen the opportunity. I'll call it opportunity for now. But they've seen the opportunity to kind of be the middle person and say, let's develop a responsible AI, ethic kind of metric, and let it feed within Spotify's streaming services. So in a way, in a nutshell, what Spotify is trying to do is ask the execs, traditional music, to partner with AI music and stream it in a way where nobody's sued, nobody gets the whole shebang of paperwork or problems or issues. They work hand in hand. The question then becomes, what happens to their artists? Do they also adopt AI? Do they work with AI? And are there concerns that AI could perform better than them? Does it improve their creativity, or does it kind of peg it back a bit? Well, I'm going to walk you through kind of the pros and cons of this and kind of give you my own thoughts and feelings in terms of what I think is my opinion and how I would like to envision AI in the music industry. So let's dig a bit deeper. First one, let's talk about protecting artist rights. First, this move could finally give artists a say in how their work is used in AI training. Imagine a world where you can actually license your sound and get paid every time an AI borrows your voice, your melody, your vibe. That's a huge win for creators. Let's talk transparency and accountability. Spotify's new model could make it clear when a track is AI generated. And who owns it? That means less confusion for listeners and fewer fake Drake or fake The Weeknd tracks going viral. And also, industry-wide standards. If Spotify pulls this off, it might set the standard for the whole industry, forcing AI companies to get proper license and pay royalties. That's how innovation survives without exploitation. And then my final thoughts here is better music discovery. Believe it or not, AI could also help artists. Imagine AI tools that remix your own music in styles, all approved, all paid, helping your sound reach new audiences. So those are some really good points. And to be honest, while I was thinking about and I was writing it down in terms of what positive things can come out of this, those are the ones that I can think of off the top of my head. And I think it's right to say it's only fair that, these AI companies are held to a standard to kind of compensate while using vocals or voices from artists. It's another way of income for artists in a way that can help boost their streams. I think it's a win-win play. But is it more of a win for the artist, or is it more of a win for AI? And is it even a bigger win for Spotify? Earlier in the video, I said this is an opportunity for Spotify. And as I start to think about the pros, I was thinking, yeah, if Spotify is leading this, there must be an angle here. Like, what are they really trying to get out of this? What are they trying to gain? And that's when it dawned on me. It's like they want to have more streaming numbers, obviously, have everyone merge over to their platform. Obviously, their biggest direct competitors will be Apple Music, for example. And what a better way to kind of, again, in one of my positive points, kind of set the new standard in the music industry. When it comes to AI, which is always going to grow and always develop, as it begins to have its rubber foot stamped in the music industry, would Spotify be in the best position to kind of say we are the masters and the pioneers in bridging AI and music, where Apple Music may fall behind? This is a really, really large gameplay from Spotify. And in the world of business, this is a very huge power move. Because no matter what, we're always going to keep streaming music, but AI is around the corner. If not, already bust the corner and making its way into music more so than often. But without delving too much into the pros and not being a biased view, let's take a look about the cons. And by cons, I mean, what are the negative points here? Well, let's dig a bit and let's have a look. Talk about why this could actually backfire. Well, innovation could slow down. Once regulation enters the room, creativity can sometimes leave. Smaller developers, indie AI musicians, startup labs may struggle with the legal red tape and cost. Another thing I was thinking about is power concentration. Let's be honest. Spotify, Sony, Universal, they already control most of the music industry. If they now control the rules of AI too, we might be trading piracy for monopoly. Talk about over-regulation can kill exploration. AI thrives on experimentation. Think of generative AI like ChatGPT, Gemini. These are chatbots that thrive based on experimentation. Hence why we see different versions of them every year or every 6 to 12 months. But if every experiment needs a lawyer, artists might stop creating or go underground. And then AI attribution isn't easy. Detecting AI generated sound is hard, especially when it's blended with real vocals. Sound Patrol and others are building fingerprint tools, but it's still guesswork. If Spotify enforces rules before detection is reliable, we're going to see a lot of chaos. There you have it. These are the cons, and the keyword is chaos at the end. I don't see this being much more of no more than a power move, if I'm honest. I think this is more of Spotify trying to say, hey, let's regulate this before it gets out of control. Let's keep the traditional musicians happy. But in a nutshell, it can spoil the innovation in which music can aspire to. And two things can work and two things can't work. Some people say AI and music is not beneficial. It spoils the emphasis of music. It spoils the joy of music. You know, once we know in our brains it's fake, how can you groove to it? Well, then I combat that and by saying, well, over the past year, there's some really good music that AI has produced and they've gone viral, which means the consumer kind of wants it in a way. If it's been shared, it's been liked a lot, it's been talked about a lot, there's definitely a market where AI can fit in with music. So my biggest, not plea for Spotify, but it's more of just like a suggestion. Come to the table with an open mind. I understand Spotify, Sony, Universal, they're in par together. They've been in bed together for donkey years. AI is the new person coming into play. But let's not dismiss AI intentionally. I believe there's a world where AI and music can come together. I agree. I believe artists should be fairly compensated if AI is involved with their music. I believe these AI companies should compensate these artists for using their vocals. I agree to that. What I don't agree to is the monopoly version of music. We can't let them have all the control. How many times do artists say, I don't have creative mindset? Well, AI can build that creative mindset. Sometimes it takes long in the studio, recording for hours. Leveraging AI can reduce that. So yeah, there's some positives to AI and also some negatives that I understand. But Spotify, let's not be naive and think this wouldn't be a great opportunity, not only for the consumer, myself, but for everybody involved. Let's step away from monopoly and build more of a democracy. I'll leave the floor to you. In the comment section, let me know, what do you think? What would you prefer? Are you on the fan side of, yes, let's license AI with music, you know, like films and stuff like that? Or are you in the fence of, you know, hey, let's give AI a chance, an opportunity. Let's see what AI can do. I've seen AI, well, I haven't seen AI to be honest, but I've heard the AI in music and it literally sounds amazing. And I can only think or imagine what it would be like if somebody like Kendrick Lamar, Drake, you know, Stormzy were in a booth with AI tools to kind of help, not like they need the help, but help like get their music in a way where they never thought it could never be. But then I understand the cons. You know, how much of the door do you want open for AI? How can we regulate it? How can we ensure it's fair? How can we even ensure that these artists get compensated? And that's where I'm not torn, but what I would like to say to you, Spotify, is have an open mind. Because it seems like you're going full throttle with this. And the last thing I want to see, or hear, or read on, is that the traditional music players always get their way. And that's never a good sign for music, or any industry, to be honest. So yeah, that's been AI with Fizzy. As always, thank you so much for tuning into this video. As always, like, share and subscribe. Share with a friend, like, press the bell notification whenever I release. I will be releasing at least twice a week. And yeah, as always, if you're a music lover and you love AI, stay living with AI. It's been AI with Fizzy. Peace.